I welcome you all to 2020. I am Dr. Kafayat, Kehinde, Lamidi. This is series 7 video on GSEP, Global Self Education Platform. This is titled Romantic Relationship, Challenges, Causes, and Coping Codes. Some of you might be expecting different title or different terms. For example, marital issues or marital challenges, relationship breakdown, or even marital breakdown. But these terminologies are part of the issues or the problem that we are trying to face. So let's take a moment to reflect on the keyword itself, marital. Don't we think there is more to it in terms of the pressure it's put on us? So let's start to reconstruct how we use it and replace it with something like romantic, just as I've done in this lecture. And to me, romantic means that we are embedding and embracing within our relationship the place of love. Why is this important? The implication is that the marital world itself, like I've said, is challenging and is putting that pressure on the individual in the relationship or the couple involved. So today, opening question to you all is, who is to blame? Who is to blame? If you are sitting with someone right now, ask your partner or your colleague who is to blame for a relationship issue or the crisis in our relationship. In order to respond to my question, who is to blame, I have put together 3 typologies of causes in relationship. And the first one is the internal causes. This I consider to be the direct cause in terms of the couple involved in the relationship. They are well known to each other and they could easily recognize some immediate issues that is going to come up or to spot that issues ahead of time. For example, when one of the party is trying to do certain thing or take certain action, the other one would have said, you always, because it has always been the issue like that, and they are well known to each other in that regard. I consider these internal causes to be within our control, and that's why I classify them to be the internal causes. The second part is the external causes. These include the family in our life, the friends in our life, the funds in our life, and also the social environment in terms of how we use our social pages, social media, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, many more of them, just name them. So I consider this that we have the control within ourselves, and also it might be outside our control, because when we are posting at that moment we still have the control, but the moment that information gets out there to the public, sometimes it is outside of our control because it has already been received by the members of the public. The third typologies of causes is the rebate cause. These are less obvious causes. They occur further in the past or further away in the relationship. I consider this to be a sequence of events that are based on fate and destiny. And just to point out that majority of the remote causes are beyond human control, because they are tied to our fate, what has been destined to happen to us. So there's little sometimes to what we can do to correct that. So this part here is our sitting arrangement. We have to rearrange ourselves. If we are more than one in the room right now, let's ask ourselves who is to blame. Those who support the man sit on one side, those who support that the woman is to blame sit on the other side, and those group who support that the parent or the family or the social environment are to be blamed sit on another side. So we have 3 groups at the moment, and then the implications of this sitting arrangement is that it's along the way, when I'm still going to talk about the consequences and the challenges, the outcome of it is when children are involved in the relationship, if it has to go down to the divorce road, the parents will have to, like visiting arrangements, or who to visit at what point, to what time to visit the other parent, or sometimes the worst scenario when the children are being taken up by the social services, or they are being put with a family member. So this sitting arrangement implicates what happens when we are not, we are not tied together as supposed to be in the relationship, and when things fall apart, so everybody go their ways, and all these issues is the consequence that we surpass, or that will happen afterward. So when you have put yourself into a group, take time to read, to ask yourself what is the reason or reasons behind your response. Why do you think is the man to be blamed, or why do you think is the woman to be blamed, or why do you think is the parents or the family that are to be blamed? So put your responses together, and before the end of the session you'll be able to review it and see what has changed, or why you have changed your response to that question. So this one here in this slide, I said relationship challenges versus consequences. The reason is that when there is a challenge, it has its impacts. So first, let's look at the challenges. The hidden challenges are 2 in relationship. The first one is the human intention, and the second one is the life expectations. Why do I say human intentions? Because sometimes in relationship, the partner or the individual couple, they have some hidden agenda that is different from the couple agenda. The having individual, priority sometimes leads to relationship issue, because if your intention, for example, in getting married is because you get into a relationship is because you are getting old, or because the need for urgency, so definitely it might be that second partner is not your choice, but you just get into the relationship because of certain things, because of certain motives. So let's think about the motives of getting into a relationship, how it will affect us in the long term. The second part is the life expectations. So what do we expect to get out of the relationship, again, is another aspect of the challenge in the relationship, where, for example, sometimes we see ourselves as ladder to success, and if the other partner is not supporting us to climb that ladder to success, we might see that person as an enemy of progress, or somebody who is not supporting us to fulfill our life goals. So in that case, we should try to review, to try to see it from the place of love. That's why I've used the term romantic, to ensure that no matter what our motives, what our intentions are in the relationship, our life expectation shouldn't be because of what we want to derive from that relationship, because this is where majority of the problem lies. If our expectation is different from the other party's expectations, we have contradictory goals, and the consequence of this include anxiety, because we become so anxious if the other party is not working together or rubbing mind with us towards achieving our goals. Then mental distress kick in, depression kicks in, health breakdown, boom, falls in, and along the way it leads to separation or even divorce, which is the worst scenario in most cases. So our love life journey, it is very rare in relationship, not to run into a few bumps in the road. And we don't even need research data to support this, because the first and second year of a relationship is very exciting, very exciting. It's very good, very rosy. So sorry about that. So it's very rosy that we enjoy that first and second year of the relationship. But even relationship experts have mentioned that, or they have acknowledged it, that it is very rare for couple not to run into a few bumps in the road. But it is how we respond to that bumps that help us to cope, that determine how we survive in the relationship. So as you see, I've put this image about myself, and that is a face who has passed away. May his soul continue to rest in peace. And that is how it all began in the relationship. It shows how couple will embrace that love at the beginning, but along the way, you will see there will always be a few bumps. So you yourself look at your picture, how you started right now, and match it with what is currently going on, just to show you that it's always fine at the beginning, but along the way we will all experience some sort of challenges. But the way we respond to those challenges is how we are going to survive in the relationship. And just to mention, I'm still collecting application for new partner or new, because there's a permanent position, permanent vacancy. So before the closing date or closing deadline, you still have the opportunity to submit your application for a permanent position, if you know what I mean. So that's that for that love life challenge journey. I mean, so what are the coping codes? I have 6 coping codes for you. The first part is the thankfulness, which means that we need to start appreciating ourselves more in a relationship. The more we appreciate, the more we value each other. So it is certain that at a point, though we are going to be tested, or we are going to be confronted by some challenges, but still let us appreciate each other in that relationship. Let us show some appreciation. Let us have that sense of worthiness, and let us feel worthy to each other by appreciating what we are giving to each other, what we are sharing with each other. And that's take us to the second coping code about sharing. It's not just food or clothes that we share. Let's share information, let's share knowledge, because sometimes most people are misled because they don't have certain information. And also in relationship, if you don't share what is bothering you, you only have it inside you, and it kills you gradually. And that is why you are coupling in a relationship. Try to communicate, try to share what the issue is. And they said 2 heads are better than 1. So at least you will have some input from the other party. So be open, share what is bothering you with your partner, and by so doing, you will be able to get some at least positive response. If not so many, at least you will get something to learn or to derive from that, from communicating that issue out. And there's another part of that sharing which I consider to be like, if there's no love, what do we share? You know what I mean? I'm still going to go to the next slide where we look about all these questions in detail. And let's go to the next one, which is the higher purpose. I put there that we should remember what is our purpose in the relationship, what is our purpose in this life. If our life expectations or our intentions in the relationship is different, or we have individual motives, then what is the essence of going to that relationship? You know what I mean? If it is that you want to make sure everything is working in your favor, or just to satisfy you alone, then what is the higher purpose? Because it is there that anything we do, any relationship, any context we find ourselves, we should try to embrace it, because that moment in time that we are having that relationship, or that person or that partner, it has been written that it's going to be part of our journey in life. And we're still going to go to the next one, which is less reliance on human being. And that I consider to be let's rely less on people. People come and go in our life. You can see how all these things connect with each other. people come and go, which means that if people come and go, if marriage is not forever, let's enjoy the little moment we have with each other, and don't let us put that big expectation. And if that expectation is not met, we started having issues. So let's rely less. Let's live, because when we're going to pass away, actually, we're not going to take anything with us. Then when we rely less on each other, then we have that freedom, we have that opportunity to have that open mind to welcome each other opinions and to be selfless. That takes us to the next one, which is being selfless. So how do we become selfless? Is to avoid being greedy all the time. And the last but not the least is life as a journey, not as a competition. Majority of relationship issues this day happen because, for example, like friend or family or colleagues at work, they do certain things for their partner. Then you expect your own partner at home to always or to have that type of character as well. Life is a journey, it's not a competition. We don't expect things to be the same because some other couple in the relationship, they are doing these certain things or they are pursuing that certain goal, doesn't mean that it's going to be applicable to your own relationship. So don't let us be taking our relationship as a competition with other couple out there. Let us be ourselves in our relationship. So the questions I have for you guys to reflect on in terms of using the coping code is, in terms of the coping code, the first one, which is the thankfulness or the appreciation, is who has never experienced issues in life. If you haven't, be expecting some at some point in the relationship. So how do you embrace, how do you cope with that? Try to incorporate some of these 6 codes to help you navigate the challenges. The second one is sharing, which is the mutual right. If there is no love, with whom are we going to share what we have? Because obviously when we die, they are not going to bury anything with us, because majority of the issues in relationship are tied to the wealth or the money matter. So what is it? Why is it that we are pursuing all this weight? After all, when we die, they are not going to bury it with us in our grave. Why not take the opportunity that we have right now to share it among ourselves and to enjoy it, because we have the privilege to share it while we are alive right now, than when we are gone, we are no more. And they will even share it the way they like, because we don't have any say. We don't have no says at that point, at that time when we are gone. So let's take the opportunity to share what we have, to share our wealth peacefully. Yeah. Next one is remember our high purpose. What are we taking to our graves? You see, they connect with each other. It connects to the sharing, and it also connects with thankfulness and appreciation. The next one is less reliance on human. I see this as human being are visitors in our life. They come into our life temporarily and they will leave. For example, let's look at our parents. Some of us don't have father, we don't have mother. Some of us, for example, we have widows out there, some people who have lost their wife or who have lost their husband. So that suggests that even anybody in our relationship, they are not meant to be permanent. They are just temporary visitors. At some point they will still leave us. So if we see it from that angle, we will have less expectation and we will rely less on ourselves, and we have the opportunity to share things, to embrace love peacefully. Then being selfless, I'm going to ask you, is relationship a trade by barter? If yes, that is where the problem kicks in. That is where we will begin to have issue. If no, then peace will reign, good health will follow. If it's not a trade by barter, you do things more amicably, you resolve issues, you don't take minor things, you don't turn it into major issues. So these are some of the things that we need to review to help us reflect. And the solutions to these challenges I consider to be in 3 aspects. Accountability is the first one, responsibility is the second, and mutual right is the third one. In terms of accountability, whether it works in your favor or not, when you're applying the 6 coping codes, try to reinstate love in our homes without thinking that is it going to benefit me or not. If it doesn't benefit you, it doesn't matter, but it benefits both couples. That's what we are looking at. That's what we are trying to face. Then let us take responsibility. Let's stop pointing fingers and start to take responsibility for our actions and our behavior. In terms of the mutual right, I say let us share unconditionally, please. I repeat, let us share unconditionally. When we share unconditionally, we won't have big expectation, we won't have any hidden intention or hidden agenda or any private motives that will be different from the couple motives, if you know what I mean. So let us love and live in peace for happiness and good health to reign. So I'm going to say again, let us love and share. Let us live and surround ourselves with love. Let us be the creator of the love that we want to see in our homes. Let's embrace that love in every aspect of our life. And from now on, let us start to reinstate and reinstall love in our homes by implementing some of these coping codes. And I hope peace, happiness, and good health will continue to reign. So that is that. Let me go back to ask you that question now. Who is to blame? How has your response changed from what you have chosen at the beginning? So if it's changed, why has it changed? If it remained the same, ask yourself, why does it remain the same? As I've said, the sitting arrangement implies that how things go along the way when we are not in mutual, having that, mutual obligation, or having that moment of sharing, or that moment of thankfulness, appreciating each other, or seeing the relationship journey as a life journey rather than as a competition. Then separation will happen, divorce will happen. Then the children will now be separated from the parent. They will not have time to spend certain time with the father or the mother, or being taken up by the social services or by the family member. So this is what the sitting arrangement at the beginning I've asked you to do implies. So this is what happened. We're going to find ourselves in different settings because we go in our separate ways. That's the implications of that sitting arrangement. So my response is that nobody is to blame. Nobody is to blame. So I don't know about yours, if yours has changed or still remain the same, whether you blame the man or the woman or the family or the social environment. But to me, the response is nobody, no one is to blame. We are all responsible for the relationship or for anything that happened in our relationship. And I just have one quote for the day, which is Quran 4 and Isaiah chapter 14, for you to know that even in the Holy Book, it is there to share, it is there to embrace love, and it is even there in the same chapter 4, how our property are going to be shared when we are diseased or when we die. So which means that we won't have the opportunity to come back and share what we have once we are dead or once we are gone. And if we have the opportunity now that we are alive, let us fulfill the command of our God. Let us try to do what is right and desist from what is wrong, because it is there in the Quran that, and whoever disobeys Allah and his messenger and transgresses his limits, he will put him into the fire to abide eternally therein, and he will have a humiliating punishment. That is the English translation of Quran 4 verse 14. It read wa man yasin Allah wa rasulahu wa yanta hada udu dahu yudikiru noran qawidan fiha wallahu azabul mu'inun. Amen. So it's just a quote to help us know that it is there in the Holy Book, and our Creator supports us to love one another unconditionally and to do what is right and to leave what is wrong. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you all once again. And this is Global Self Education Platform. Our mission is to empower the world through free online education. And our vision is that we are your global platform for advancing self-education principles and practices. Among our values include innovative or community impact, which relate to change and transformation. And our second value is reaching out globally in terms of our sharing spirit. And also we have the making knowledge work value, which is our resilience. And the fifth value of GSEP is making things happen by taking responsibility. And also, our last but not the least, which is our sixth value, is getting things done by taking accountability. And that is our six values at Global Self-Education Platform. I hope you all share something in common with our value, and that's why you are here listening to us today. How can you connect with us? We have launched our website. We have two website pages. We have kafayat.com and we also have global self-education platform.com. So you can always watch out for more educational series like this, or follow us on our Twitter page at cafe_hold, or follow us on Facebook. We have Facebook page, which is Global Self-Education Platform page, and we also have my personal profile page, which is Cafe Huddersfield, and we have Instagram as well, Cafe Huddersfield, together as one word, and we have our YouTube page where we upload our weekend lectures, Kafayat Kehinde Lamidi, so you can find us or subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kafayat Kehinde Lamidi. Also, you can follow us or connect with me on LinkedIn at Dr. Kafayat Kehinde Lamidi, and my mobile number is 07432657880 for you to contact me on WhatsApp or on Telegram, Dr. Kafayat Kehinde Lamidi. And our email address for any question, queries, and more topic to cover is gsep@kafayatkehindelamidi.com, GSEP@KAFAYATKEHINDELAMIDI.com. Thank you very much once again for your time. The citation for today's lecture is Lamidi Kafayat K 2020, Romantic Relationship, Challenges, Causes, and Coping Codes, Global Self-Education Platform Series 7. I appreciate you all once again. Thank you all, and welcome to 2020 once again. See you in the next lecture. Thank you very much. I love you all. Nobody is to be blamed. We are all responsible for relationship issues, so let's take responsibility and be accountable for our actions and behavior. I hope this lecture is of useful to us all. Thank you. Bye for now.